good evening. The outgoing chairperson Renuka Jayamana, Madam, and also the incoming president, my dear friend Harsha Jaising, I got it right. Yes. And dignitaries at the head table, including my two chairmen, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I see very prominent faces right in front of me, so I feel a bit awkward to speak in front of you about tourism because I should be sitting here and actually asking you all what best that we could do to improve our tourism industry and the ministry. As you all well aware, and just like the chairperson said, this is a time of a challenge that we are facing that we have never encountered in our 75-year history. It is a tough time and the road does not look smooth. There are problems after problems with the world economic crisis and the recession that is surrounding us. Things won't look easy. Again, I would say I'm not the best person to talk in this forum because I see Sir Paddy Vitharana sitting right in front of me, and I feel very awkward speaking in front of him because I wanted to personally go and meet him and ask him for a few updates with his expertise, knowledge that he had over the years that he has serviced Sri Lanka. However, I'm just delighted to be here, just to know that the professionals are together. That's a very sound platform or a foundation for the youngsters who will come along on this industry. I think Sri Lanka are born hospitable people. That's what I always say, and recently also I said, Sri Lankans, whatever happens, smiles. Even through a protest, we smile. Even through a match when we are losing and losing and losing, we still smile. We are a resilient set of people, and that's Sri Lanka, and that's what we are proud to hold on about us. Having said that, how much is the tourism industry means to Sri Lanka is something that we need to take note of. If you really look at it, more than 3 million people in our country is dependent on the tourism industry. Right now they're facing loans after loans and the repayments, even though the moratorium is being extended, which is one of the few things that we did as we take coffees. I am not happy with the moratorium because it's not the way to go forward. One, the interest keeps adding up. Two, you still dig deeper and deeper into your own grave of things. So it's not going to be easy just having a moratorium because you run the risk of the entire banking system also collapsing. So we cannot keep on saying to keep the moratorium going. How do you overcome it? So the simple challenge that was given to me, and one of the reasons I accepted this ministry and wanted it, is to face a challenge. I like to take challenges. My father only taught me one thing: high risk, high profit. Low risk, low profit. No risk, no profit. So even in politics, I always took risk. Even in 2014, I resigned my parliamentary seat and contested, and that's how the entire 2015 government came into the parliament. Even this time, it's not a very favorite decision I took, but I thought the country would not survive if we divide ourselves. And if we don't take responsibility, it's not about re-election, but it's about standing up. And I think to an extent, 1.5 months or 2 months ago, we wouldn't have seen Sri Lanka this way. I wouldn't have thought it would have been easy to get out of the rut that we were in. Fuel queues, gas queues. We had all what you want to ask, everything was in front of us. We were just sinking. Was it my duty to watch and wait till my government comes and take a big ministry in a country that is worse than any other country that I can imagine of? I didn't want to. I sacrificed. I thought my political future is over, but I thought a risk return would be my profit or loss. So far, the risk seems to be working, and I'm very proud to say that because at least for these 1.5 months, we are seeing hope. And having said that, again, something that really touched me was about this industry and the women contributing to the hospitality industry is very low. I think the world is close to about 54%, and we are around 10% or so. I need your help to see a way to come out of this, how we can do it. And also, I was criticized again. Criticism is something very common to me these days about the advisory committee I've had. Some people were blaming me that I've had 22 members, but they didn't understand. They were just on an advisory capacity, non-voting but observers. Only 11 had the voting rights. So I still believe I could have more advisors on observer role, because especially our tourism industry never worked with the culture or the archaeology department. So I got all these top government officials also as observers and to contribute. I got an investment bank. I saw there's a huge article going on that it's conflict of interest. I don't know him that way, but he's an investment lawyer who was working in UK and a young guy. So I wanted him to be there and to see out of the box thinking and how we could change. So lots of things are happening, but I am up for criticism or for any advice that you want to give me. I would take it with lots of heart, because I would like to know what you all think and how we can change this whole system. As you are well aware, you all are pioneers in this industry. Asia Cup was supposed to be in Sri Lanka. 1.5 months ago, cricket board came and asked me, can I give an assurance letter that fuel and the hotel supplies will be on dot, because Pakistan and India is playing after so many years, and if they are playing in Sri Lanka, whether we can have 40,000 uh, fans in the stadium and we can manage it. At that point, to be honest, I couldn't give a letter in writing, but I said, uh, I'm sure things will be better. That's all I said, but that's not good enough. Last week I happened to go to Gujarat, and Gujarat is the state of President Modi's, Prime Minister Modi's, and their Home Minister's son is the BCCI secretary, who's one of the very most influential people. I'm just sharing it with you. Keep it to yourself. But because we were honest with our thought, he promised to give 3 IPL matches next year to Sri Lanka. That's a huge boost. Then we are prepared. That is the way that I thought we have to go step by step. How much of rooms do we have? Formal sector, 40,000. Informal is 40,000. Formal hotel rooms, entire country has 40,000. The Coaches Association, the buses, they came and met me. They said overall they have about 500 buses. Now in working condition, they have only 350. Put 40 in them, that's only 12,000 people we can handle, if you really look about it. Maybe the individual vehicles, we are really small. We are still very small. And we don't have the perfect brand still coming into Sri Lanka, but we have a beautiful product. We are in one capsule. So I do believe if we get together, Sri Lanka will be an ideal destination for lots of people. Sri Lanka has something to offer to every person who comes to Sri Lanka. One of the markets we've not looked at positively was India, I think. They have enough and more population who has the money to travel. For 1 rupee, now they get 5 rupees. So Sri Lanka would be an ideal place for them to come. How attractive have we been to India? I'm going next week to Kerala just for 1 day. They are having a massive ashram summit. I'm trying to bring the ashrams into Sri Lanka because I'm also the land minister. I thought we'll build next month onwards. Pondicherry ferry is starting to come to the north. There's a ATR aircrafts are coming to Palali. So I'm sure we'll have lots of scope and we need to expand ourselves bigger. At the moment, short term, I do believe India would be a good option to us. Then we can go on the next phase of what we are looking at. Right now, even at numbers, if you look at it, we have to date from 1st of January, 487,000 travelers that has come, tourists who has come to Sri Lanka. I'm correct, Priyanka? Yeah. And I think by end of the month, we'll touch 500,000. Why I say 1 million is, I want to work myself out, get these Indians coming in, make sure by the season, end of 31st, we will touch close to 1 million tourists. So I need your help. We need the service quality to improve in Sri Lanka. You pioneers are a great pride for Sri Lanka, no doubt. But our younger generation needs to adapt to being more hospitable, I would say. You go to Bangkok, you go to Bali, they're so welcoming. Even though we say we smile, even though we are hospitable, service levels has to increase much, much more, I would believe. And I think the training, the capacity building, all of this would be so important going further. As I said again, we only have 40,000 rooms, but we're talking big numbers. And the best that we did was in 2018 when we got 2.3 million. We can't shoot there or anything above unless we really improve ourselves and have more brands coming and more investment. We're working with few companies, foreign and Sri Lankan, to give more land. And I would like to tell you also, with your contacts, we can, especially we're looking at Kalpitia to develop as a tourist zone. And also, our concepts are very wrong. Recently in Arugambe, several times by 10 o'clock, police comes in, raids the place, stop the tourists and asking them to leave to the rooms. That's not tourism. You can't develop like that. One of the reasons that we gave the soft liquor license as we came in, now we are coming to an agreement with the excise department to make sure the vetting process is done by SLTDA, and only the issuance of the license for 25,000 rupees is done by the excise. It's only our documentation will be done by us. But I want SLTDA also to improve their service. It cannot be taking long to register a tourist location or a tourist property or a restaurant. It has to be a fast, single window approach. So I think the pioneers in the industry can help us, and I welcome you all. We are very open, and I have a fantastic chairman. He's Harin Fernando. I'll just explain. He has been studying in UK, hospitality, professional. He did, I'm sure the seniors have known him, but he was working abroad. He did the roadmap for Bangladesh tourism. And I also keep saying, even the Bangladesh tourists, we should attract to Sri Lanka because we take loans from them. Obviously, they must be richer than us. So, Bangladesh market that is untapped, Pakistan, we're not looking at them, but they travel. You see them travel in Dubai in style. You see them travel in other countries. Why not Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka has everything to offer. So our promotional bureau has a lot of work to do. It's not about road shows. And I went to Gujarat. I didn't get promotional bureau to spend a cent. For Sanjay, to offer myself or a bata or a podium, nothing. Everything we contacted, connected with people and got it organized. Now Mumbai, we are doing the same. But what the promotional bureau in the past do is allocate massive amount of TDL money on promotion. That is, I think, is very quite outdated. Now it's the influencers, the bloggers, the people that you bring in. That's direct tourism, and we are looking at adventure tourism as well. We're trying to sign up with extreme sports in UK. We're trying to bring them down. Except for 3 snow sports, every other sport of extreme sport can be done in Sri Lanka. Something baffles me a lot. We are an island which is surrounded by water. How much of water sports do we do? We have water bodies in the country, over 33% of the country's water bodies. What have we done? So we haven't been thinking of a lot of the adventure sort of tourism that the world has seen, and we have everything. So especially for Australians, we are not a market. They go to Bali, they go to Thailand. We have so much of flights. We have 2 flights a day from Sri Lanka, but tourists don't come. It's only our own diaspora that is coming in. So I think there's a lot to look into. So we have a short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan. But I really want you all to come assist us, give us the input, and help us bring back that tourism, the old Ceylon to Sri Lankan, that name, the pearl of the Indian Ocean back. Because if we are to be a pearl, we need to really step up and get this going. So I do not want to take much of your time. Thank you for inviting me, and I wish all the very best to the incoming chairman and the outgoing chairperson and all the rest of the committee. Thank you for having me. Let's hope Sri Lanka can stand up, and it's a healing process. Let's heal well, and then let's work on well. Thank you.